Betty, it's not healthy for you to sit in this dusty old attic.
Aunt Hazel,
What are you doing up here anyway?
I was just looking for a few things.
It all looks like junk to me. Are you all ready for Christmas, Betty?
Just about. I still have some shopping to do, a little more baking. How about you?
Oh, yes. You know me. I never put anything off to the last minute. I've been ready for weeks.
That's nice. So where are you spending the holidays? At Sherry's again this year?
Yes. I wouldn't miss Christmas at Sherry's. She always goes out of her way to make Christmas extra special.
That's nice.
Isn't it wonderful about Sherry's boy Bob? I did tell you the good news, didn't I?
Oh, yes.
Do you realize that this is his 4th promotion in 3 years? He certainly is a go-getter.
I suppose he is.
It's a shame your William doesn't have some of his cousin's ambition. He might be able to get...
Aunt Hazel, William is doing just fine. You leave him alone.
Now you're Ricky. Now there was a smart one. I feel sure Ricky would have given Bob a run for his money if he hadn't... well, you know what I mean.
Yes.
It's 20 years ago this Christmas, isn't it?
Yes.
A terrible thing to have happen on Christmas.
It would have been terrible any time.
Oh, of course. It's a wonder you and Richard are able to celebrate Christmas at all after having something like that happen.
The first few Christmases were the worst, and it still is difficult at times.
I imagine you both regret buying Ricky a bicycle that Christmas. I'm sure
Mom,
you would.
Are you home?
I'm up here in the attic.
Hi, Mom. Oh, hello, Aunt Hazel.
Well, hello, my dear. How are you this afternoon?
I'm all right. A little tired, I guess.
Well, don't you baby yourself too much. That's the worst thing a woman could do when she's in the family way.
But my doctor said...
Doctors. Oh, what do they know about having babies? In my day, a woman in your condition could do 3 loads of laundry, scrub the floors, and feed the chickens, all before breakfast. Oh, we couldn't allow ourselves to get tired.
Aunt Hazel, you never even had any children.
Nevertheless, you shouldn't be too easy on yourself.
Whatever you say, Aunt Hazel.
Well, I still have a million things to do. Now, you remember what I said, my dear? You'll be happy you did. I'm off. Hey, goodbye, Betty.
She's off, all right. I guess she'll never change.
Unfortunately, you're right. Are you sure you're okay? You look pale.
Oh, I feel much better than I did this morning. Were you this sick when you were pregnant?
All 4 times. It shouldn't last much longer, though.
I hope you're right. I cannot take much more of this. Everyone I know gains weight when they're expectant. Mom, I've lost 3 pounds.
Don't rush it. That will come soon enough.
I suppose you're right. Hey, what are you doing in the attic anyway?
Well, I finished my decorating downstairs, so I thought I'd come up here and try to sort through the boxes of leftover decorations. Unfortunately, I found this old photo album in the first box I opened, and I never got any cleaning done.
I don't know why you bother cleaning anything out up here. You never throw any of it away.
You never know when I might need some of this stuff.
Like these? This paper is 9 years old.
Well, I guess it's time I could have your father take those to the trash.
Oh, well, you never know when you might need them.
I can't imagine what people without large attics do with all their things.
They throw them away.
I'm glad I don't have to do that. These keepsakes bring back a lot of good memories. Well, like this. Do you remember this trip to Florida?
Ah, look at my hair. It is so frizzy. I look awful.
I guess it was pretty fuzzy. That home permanent I gave you didn't turn out quite the way I'd hoped.
Look at Ricky and William. Nobody wears this Bermuda shorts anymore.
Your father does.
Well, William would die if he ever saw these.
We had a lot of fun on this trip.
I don't remember this vacation. When was it?
It was almost 20 years ago. It was the summer before Ricky's accident. That was our last family vacation before he died.
You think about him often, don't you? Daddy, too?
Your father never talks about Ricky.
I wish I could remember more about Ricky. I was just so young when he died.
Yes. Well, enough of this. What brings you to town this afternoon?
Well, I need to go to the grocery store to get some things to finish my Christmas baking.
Well, can you stay for a cup of coffee?
Unfortunately, no. Don will be home early tonight. We're going shopping for a crib.
You know, our old crib must be up here somewhere. Let's see. Where is it? Here it is. It might need a little bit of work, but you'd be welcome to use it.
Gee, I don't know. I think I'd like to get a new one. I wouldn't want to, risk ruining a keepsake like this.
You know, Kathy and William felt the same way when Andy was born. Oh well, maybe Becky will use it someday.
Is Daddy working late tonight?
No, in fact, I expect he'll be home a little early. He's going to the church tonight to help the custodian hook up the Christmas lights.
Well, what are you and Becky gonna do?
We're going shopping. She insists on picking out her own gifts. I've been putting it off, but I'm afraid I've run out of excuses.
I thought you enjoyed shopping.
Not with Becky. She's so particular. She tries on practically every dress in the mall and then picks the most expensive and ugliest one. And when I refuse to buy it, she starts the whole process over again. I spend more time standing outside dressing rooms than I care to mention.
It is so hard to believe she'll be 18 next month. I still need to get her a present myself. Anything in particular she needs?
I suppose you could always buy her some clothes.
I think I'll take her shopping sometime too and let her pick something out.
You'll be sorry.
Well, I gotta get going. You stay up here and look at your pictures. I can see myself out.
I think I will.
Oh, man. I haven't seen this picture in years.
That's our old family picture. We took that for the church yearbook. It was just before the accident.
Well, at least my hair isn't frizzy in this one.
I only made that mistake once.
All right, gotta go, Mom. I'll call you tomorrow.
Goodbye, honey.
Mother, guess what? Guess who I found downstairs?
Hey, Mom.
William, what a wonderful surprise. Now, where's Kathy and that little grandson of mine?
She went to visit her sister for the weekend, so I thought I'd come down for a visit.
I am so glad you did. I wish I could stay, but I have errands to run. See ya.
Tell Dawn I say hello.
This really is a wonderful surprise.
Becky didn't tell you she invited me for the weekend?
No, she didn't. She'll be happy to see you. So will your father.
You think so?
Of course. So how's Andy? I haven't seen him since last summer. I imagine he's grown a lot.
This picture was taken just last month.
Oh, he hardly looks like a baby anymore.
He's not. He talks all the time, and he sure has acquired a mind of his own.
Sounds just like his father and grandfather. I wish he and Kathy could have come with you. How's Kathy?
She's fine. I've got some good news. My boss told me last week he thinks I might be up for promotion.
That's wonderful.
He said I'd make a great new assistant manager.
I'm so proud of you.
What are you doing up here in the attic?
I was just looking at some old pictures.
Dredging up bad memories, huh? Why do you have so much stuff?
Well, I like to keep things for souvenirs.
Souvenirs? Souvenirs of what?
Well, of the past. I have a whole box for each one of you kids.
Yeah? What's in these boxes?
Oh, trophies, prizes you've won over the years.
Mine must be a pretty small box.
No. I also have your favorite toys, baby books, report cards.
Report cards? Ooh, I don't want to think about those.
Well, they weren't that bad.
Where are these boxes of souvenirs?
Well, they're up here somewhere. Can you help me a minute?
Here. Billy? No one calls me Billy anymore.
No, but we all did 20 years ago. I imagine Kathy would like to see some of this stuff.
Maybe.
Is she still going to that little church she told us about?
Yes, off and on.
You should go with her.
You never give up, do you?
Never. You found Binky.
Binky?
You got him for Christmas when you were 3 or 4. You carried him around with you everywhere. I don't know how we finally got you to stop.
I remember now. It was because of Bob.
Your cousin?
Yes, Bob made fun of me and called me a baby whenever I carried this around. So I just quit playing with it.
I guess he was a bit of a bully.
Don't worry, Ricky and I got a revenge.
How?
You know those chocolate laxatives you had up in the medicine cabinet? We took some of those, wrapped them up in a candy wrapper, gave them to Bob.
You did. Oh, I guess you two did get your revenge, didn't you?
Aunt Sherry thought Bob had the stomach flu and made him stay in bed for 2 whole days.
Speaking of Bob, Aunt Hazel just told me that he got another promotion.
Aunt Hazel was here?
Yes. In fact, you just missed her.
Good.
Look, here they are. I believe so. The infamous report cards.
Just seeing these again gives me that same upset stomach I had on report card day.
You mean the upset stomach you used to fake?
I never could fool you, could I?
You tried everything possible to get out of going to school on report card day. Nope, never could fool me. You should have tried some of those chocolates you gave your cousin Bob. That might have convinced me.
Mom, I'm home.
I'm up here in the attic. Come on up.
I need to make a phone call first.
Do that later. Come up here. She lives for that phone.
But I promised I'd call Beth as soon as... William, you came. I knew you would.
I couldn't turn down an invitation from my baby sister.
I've told you a million times not to call me that.
Becky, do you mind if we put off our shopping trip this evening so we can spend more time with William?
Mom, you've been putting it off for weeks. I have an idea. Why don't you come with us, William?
Oh, no.
That sounds like a good idea.
I don't think you know what you're getting into, William.
I don't mind.
You'd be sorry. Oh my goodness. What time is it? I haven't even thought anything for supper yet.
Why doesn't she just use her microwave?
She's afraid it'll give us some kind of disease. Are you sure you don't mind going to the mall tonight?
Not at all. I've been so busy recently, I haven't done any Christmas shopping at all, and I don't think I've been to the mall in months.
You're kidding. Don't you have withdrawal symptoms or something? I'd die if I didn't get to the mall at least once a week. Oh, it looks like Mom's been pulling out all the old heirlooms again.
What do you have there? Oh, the old family portrait. I haven't seen this in years.
You know, it's weird. This picture doesn't look like my family at all.
We haven't changed that much, have we?
No, it's not that. Even with those tacky clothes, I can still recognize all of you. But I only have one brother, not two. And everyone in that family is smiling.
Sometimes I forget you never knew Ricky. You would have liked him.
I wish I could have.
He was always the first one to pick me for baseball teams.
Why?
Well, Ricky, he was one of the best baseball players in the neighborhood, and unfortunately, I was one of the worst. But that never mattered to Ricky. He always picked me first for teams.
I like to hear stories about Ricky. I just wish Dad would talk about him more. I might feel like I knew him better.
Yeah, I wish he would too.
Oh, did Mom tell you my big news?
No, what?
I've decided I'm not going to college next fall.
When did you decide this?
Oh, I've been thinking about it for a long time.
And what did Father have to say about that?
Ooh, he was pretty upset, but he didn't yell as much as I expected.
Maybe he's learned something since I was your age.
How did you finally convince him that college wasn't right for you?
I never really did. He still brings it up from time to time. So what do you plan to do after graduation?
I want to go to a technical school and learn to become a dental assistant.
And what did Father say about that?
I haven't told him that yet. I didn't want to say anything until it was all set.
Are you two still up here?
We're getting as bad as you spending all our time up here, Mom.
Becky.
That's mine. Oh, it's Beth. I gotta take this. Hey, Beth. Oh, no way.
And if it is, we won't hear from Becky for at least 2 hours. You laugh, but wait till you have a teenage daughter.
I don't think that's ever going to happen. Kathy and I have decided not to have any more kids. To be honest with you, we really haven't been getting along well.
I thought things seemed strained between you two when we visited last summer. What's the problem?
She says I don't talk to her enough and that I spend too much time at work.
Do you?
Sometimes, but I have to if I want to be successful.
You know, success isn't measured only by how much money you earn. There are other things that matter more than the size of your bank account.
Like what?
Well, a truly successful man must be a good husband and father, too.
I guess I never thought about it that way.
Most men don't, I'm afraid. Your father doesn't either. It takes a lot of work to be a successful husband and father.
But how does one know if he's been a success? There aren't any promotions or yearly evaluations.
I guess it's measured by his relationships with his family.
How do you mean?
Well, if he's given a part of himself to his children and allowed them to see his weaknesses as well as his strengths, you think your father's a success, don't you?
Yes?
I'll grant you he's been a good provider. But if these things are used to judge a man's success, how do you really think he rates?
I don't know.
Yes, you do. I don't want you to have many regrets like your father. You know, there is one other thing that a truly successful man should be.
What's that?
A Christian.
A Christian? That hasn't helped Father much.
When are you going to stop feeling sorry for yourself? Don't lose your wife and son because of your bitterness for your father. No problems you and Kathy may be having are too big for God.
I'll think about it.
Please do. So, what were you and Becky talking about?
College.
So she told you, huh?
Are you disappointed?
Yes, but we can't force her to go to college. We made that mistake with you.
I guess that's the good thing about having a couple of kids. You make all the mistakes on the older ones.
Unfortunately, not all parents learn from their mistakes.
You mean Father?
Yes. I don't want him to push Becky the way he always did you.
He never did that until after Ricky died. I guess as long as he had one son that got straight A's, he was okay. But I couldn't be like Ricky. A lot of things changed after Ricky died.
Like what?
Well, that's when Father stopped calling me Billy.
It was?
It was. Before Ricky's accident, he only called me William when he was angry or upset. And I knew once he called me Billy again, it was back to normal. But after one of Father's particularly long lectures, soon after Ricky's funeral, he never called me Billy again.
Was it so important?
It was. When I was called Billy, it made me feel special and loved. I needed to hear it, but I never did. Oh, but that doesn't matter now. What else is in this box of mine? What's this from?
You don't remember this? You and Ricky won that at the church father-son picnic.
Oh, that's right, in the three-legged race. Do they still have those picnics?
Every spring.
Ah, you two are still up here.
Sharon, are you finished at the store already?
I was lucky. Neither the store or the post office were crowded.
Oh, that reminds me. I still have Christmas cards to put out for the mailman to take. He'll be here any minute.
Hey, William, what is that?
Oh, one of Mom's old heirlooms. See, the Appletons took down that fence.
Yep, last spring, I think.
You know they built that because Ricky and I played baseball in their yard all the time. I'm sure Mr. Appleton chased us out of his yard 100 times before he put it up.
So, how are you, William?
Fine.
Will you be coming home for Christmas next week?
I'm not sure.
Well, I talked to Kathy last week. She called to get my recipe for pumpkin pie. But I think she just wanted to talk.
You think so?
Yes, she told me that she and Andy have been living with her sister for over a month.
Oh.
She's very unhappy and confused.
Confused? Confused about what?
Well, you mostly. She doesn't understand what's happening and she's scared.
Well, maybe I shouldn't be telling you since you're expecting, but parenting is so scary.
Scary? Does Kathy feel that way too?
I don't know. I've never told her.
Well, she needs to hear about your fears.
Maybe.
William, did you know that Kathy gave her life to Christ?
Yes.
Well, that could be your answer too, you know.
You sound just like Mom now. But I don't want to be like some Christians I know.
Your heavenly Father is nothing like your earthly father. Don't reject God just because of your disappointment with Dad.
I'll think about it.
Okay.
Maybe I could go to church this Sunday. Shouldn't hurt that much.
Is this your box?
Yeah.
Your old Bible.
It's still in pretty good shape.
That's because you never used it.
You got me there. You think Mom would mind if I took it with me?
Oh, I'm sure she'd want you to. That's good.
Look who's home.
Hello, William. How are you?
Fine.
So the prodigal son returns.
William had a free weekend, so he decided to spend it at home with us. Wasn't that nice?
It's a shame he can't find the time to come home more often.
William's very busy with work. He may even get a promotion. What was that new job you said you thought you might get?
Assistant sales manager.
Assistant. That's nice. Maybe you'll be able to go back to college now.
I'm sure a job like that will keep him busy enough.
I suppose. What's for supper?
Spaghetti. It will be ready soon.
Good. I need to get to church as early as possible. I'll go wash up.
Guess what? Guess what Beth just told me? You know her dad's a dentist? He said he'd be willing to hire me part-time to work in his office while I learn to become a dental assistant.
Hey, that's great news.
You're not taking a silly job like that. It's a waste of time.
But William thinks it's a nice idea.
He would, but I don't, and that's final.
But Dad!
Richard, don't you see how excited she was? Why did you laugh at her?
I suppose you think this is a good idea too. This all makes sense now. And do you also think it's a good idea for Rebecca not to go to college?
If that's what she wants.
I might have known. You're probably the one who talked her into this.
Daddy!
What do you mean by that?
Well, she always planned to go to college, but you managed to change her mind, didn't you?
That's not true, Dad.
Sharon, stay out of this.
Richard.
She always had her mind set on going to college, but after talking to you, she doesn't want to go to college. She wants to be a receptionist? Why don't you want her to finish her education? Don't you want to be the only one of my kids not to go to college?
That's not true.
Oh, excuse me. That isn't quite true, is it? You did go to college for one disastrous semester.
I never wanted to go in the first place.
From now on, keep your stupid ideas to yourself. I don't want Rebecca ruining her life like you did.
Daddy?
I asked you to stay out of this.
I'm sure you'll never believe me, but I didn't know a thing about it until earlier today when Becky told me. The only reason she hasn't told you yet is because she's afraid of you.
You're crazy.
Please stop it. It's
You're to-
almost Christmas.
You're to blame for this, just like always.
What do you mean by that?
We're the only one of our kids who ever caused trouble, the only one who got lousy grades or who skipped school. None of the other three ever did anything wrong unless you talked them into it.
Richard.
Ricky never disobeyed like you did.
Here we go again.
I suppose it was your idea to disobey my strict orders not to ride your new bikes across the train tracks where Ricky had his accident. That never would have happened unless you talked him into it.
Surely you don't blame William. Surely not.
And then you come home like the prodigal son and you get the whole family all stirred up. At least the prodigal son wanted to be forgiven. Not you. You don't think you need forgiveness. You don't need to be a Christian like the rest of us.
Christians? Is this what Christianity is all about? Well, then you can have it.
How dare you? How dare you? William, wait!
I don't believe you. I do not believe you just said that.
This isn't any of your concern.
Do you realize what you just did? William was going to attend church Sunday. That's what I have prayed for. All those years of rejecting God may have been coming to an end, but you blew it.
How dare you talk to me like that? I'm your father.
Oh, lucky me. I always thought that entitled you to a certain amount of respect, but I was wrong. I could never understand why you hated him so much.
I don't hate William.
But now I see. You actually blamed him for Ricky's accident. All those years, you blamed William.
I was angry. I didn't mean that.
Well, it sure sounded like that to me. And to William, Dad.
William left. I couldn't convince him to stay.
I'm not surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if he never comes back. If I were him, I wouldn't.
Sharon.
Just like the prodigal son, huh, Father? At least the prodigal son had a loving father to come home to. William doesn't. All he has is a bitter, cruel old man.
Sharon, looks like this is going to be another great family Christmas at the Franklin house. I hope you're satisfied.
So you thought you had to keep this up, all the work that you do, so we think that you're good. You can't believe it's not enough. All the walls you built up are just glass on the outside, so let them fall down. There's freedom waiting in the sound. When you let your walls fall to the ground, we're here now. We're here now. This is where the healing begins. Oh, and this is where the healing starts. When you come to where you're broken within, the light meets the dark. The light meets the dark. Afraid to let your secrets out. Everything that you hide can come crashing through the door now. Too scared to face all your fear, so you hide, but you find that the shame won't disappear. So let them fall down. There's freedom waiting in the sound. When you let your walls fall to the ground, we're here now. We're here now. This is where the healing begins. Oh, this is where the healing starts. When you come to where you're broken within, the light meets the dark. so let them fall down. There's freedom waiting in the sound. When you let your walls fall to the ground, we're here now.
I thought I left it on the dining room table, but maybe I did leave it up here.
You never could keep track of your purse.
I don't see it up here either. I left in such a hurry yesterday, I can't remember where I put it.
I don't blame you.
Mom, what did Daddy say?
Not much, but I knew he was upset. He almost didn't go to the church last night. I've never known him to miss decorating the church for Christmas.
Well, I did say some pretty awful things to him.
Well, nothing you said could be any worse than what he did.
You don't really think he blames William for Ricky's accident, do you?
I don't think so, but I'm not sure I'm going to be able to convince William of that. I had a hard enough time convincing him to stay till Sunday.
Oh, how's Becky?
She's terribly upset. She cried for over an hour. She kept saying her father hated her. She almost didn't go to the mall with me last night.
Do you want me to talk to her?
Would you? Maybe you can help calm her down.
Yeah.
Don't upset yourself, though. I don't want anything to happen to my little granddaughter.
What makes you think I'm gonna have a girl?
It's the way you're carrying her, up high.
Well, Don's mother said boys are carried like this.
She's wrong. That is definitely a girl.
What are you two doing up here again?
Oh, Becky, Sharon was just looking for her purse. How are you doing?
Okay.
Are you hungry? You haven't eaten much today.
A little, I guess.
You sit tight. I'll run down and get you a snack.
Hey, I never got a chance to congratulate you on your future job. I am really happy for you.
Thanks. I just wish Mom and Dad could be happy for me. They just don't seem to understand how I feel.
Mom understands more than you think.
Maybe. But Father won't even try. He's mad at me. He hasn't even called me Becky in weeks, only Rebecca. He hates me.
He doesn't hate anyone.
He hates William.
Why do you say that?
The way he treats him.
I know they don't get along very well, but I don't think Father hates William.
I do. I never used to, but I do now.
Well, Daddy's not good at showing it, but he does love us all.
Not as much as he loved Ricky.
Ricky?
Everyone loved Ricky, didn't they? Well, everyone except me, that is. In fact, there's times I believe I actually hate Ricky.
What do you mean?
Everyone was happy when Ricky was alive. One big happy family. But that family is just an heirloom packed away somewhere up here with all this other junk.
I guess I sometimes forget that you never knew Ricky. I mean, he was your brother, but I guess it's hard for you to think of him that way. Or to really love him.
Yeah, it is.
But don't hate him. I mean, things did change after he died, but Becky, that wasn't his fault.
No, it was Father's.
Father did have the hardest time dealing with Ricky's death.
Is that what makes Dad hate William so much and blame him for Ricky's death? I overheard the argument between all of y'all earlier. I was on the stairs and heard everything.
I didn't know that.
I also heard you tell him off. Quite frankly, I didn't know you had it in you.
I was so angry.
So you see, if Father can hate William that much, he can hate me too. He can hate any of us. Well, except for Ricky, of course.
Listen, we were all very angry. Sometimes people say things they don't really mean when they're that mad.
Yeah, but it seems to me that when people are angry, they say exactly what they mean.
Maybe you're right.
Mom set me up with these. She's making sandwiches.
Oh, I bet she's putting mustard on mine and she knows I hate mustard. I better go stop her. Thanks again for coming this weekend, William. I'm sorry it turned out the way it did.
Our little sister is not a kid anymore, but it is so hard to think of her as an adult either.
I know, it's hard to believe she'll be 18 next month.
Yeah. Hey, was that Kathy you were talking to on the phone a while ago?
It was. She was busy and I didn't want to bother her.
I'm sure you wouldn't have been a bother. Kathy still loves you.
You think so?
Yes. Listen, maybe things between you and Dad will never be right, but William, do not let that destroy your marriage.
I'm afraid it's too late for my marriage. Kathy's gone and there's nothing to change that now.
William,
Oh, Mom.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to eavesdrop.
Well, I guess I'm glad you know. You would have found out sooner or later.
I'm sorry, William. Is there anything I can do?
No, there's nothing anyone can do now.
I'm home. Hey, where is everyone?
I'm going to my room. I don't want to run into him.
Me either.
Don't go. You'll have to face him eventually.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be right now.
Betty, are you up here?
Hello, Richard. How did the decorating go?
Ah, okay.
It took longer than usual.
Yeah, the furnace went out while we were there, so several of us stayed around to get it going again.
That's too bad.
This attic sure has filled up since we bought the place.
I know. The kids think I should throw some of this stuff away. They may be right.
When we moved into this house, we didn't have enough stuff to fill 2 rooms downstairs. We didn't even have a television.
And no kids either.
Seems we're just about back to that condition.
I don't want to think about that. I can't believe Becky will graduate this spring. It seems like yesterday she was just crawling around in diapers.
Seems like we've turned into a couple of old folks.
Speak for yourself, you old geezer. I guess it will be a little strange not having any more kids in school. No more PTA meetings or booster clubs. I guess in a way it could be nice.
You don't sound too convincing. Are Rebecca and William both here? I guess they're probably pretty mad at me, huh? Something else is bothering you. What is it?
It's Kathy and William. They're separated. Did you hear what I just said? Kathy has taken Andy and left William.
I heard you. What has he done now?
What do you mean?
Well, the best thing he ever did was marrying Kathy. She wouldn't leave him unless he'd done something wrong.
Wish you'd be more sympathetic.
It's hard to be sympathetic with someone who's made as many mistakes as William.
Why do you continue this crazy feud with your son?
You think it's my fault that this feud, as you call it, continues?
Well, of course not, but you could be the one to stop it.
Me? Why me?
You are his father. But what's even more important is that you're the one who's supposed to be a Christian. Would Christ give up on someone for making mistakes? If he did, all of us would be lost. We need to show William extra love and forgiveness right now, just like Christ would, especially you.
Why me in particular?
Because what you think is so important to him. It always has been. He's wanted to please you his whole life. Still does, I would say.
I don't know about that.
How do you expect William to believe his heavenly Father loves him if his earthly father won't?
I don't have any faith that William will ever find Christ.
Well, I'm glad God doesn't give up on his children like you have.
Well, I didn't mean that I don't care about him.
Now, more than ever, he needs your love and support. He needs you to put your arm around him and say, Billy, I love you.
Billy? I don't think you'd want me to call him that.
Well, I think that's what Christ would do. But if you can't do that, at least let him know you don't blame him for Ricky's death.
Oh, I even shocked myself when I said that.
You don't really feel that way, do you?
Well, I thought about that a lot at church, and there may have been a time in the back of my mind that I did, but no, I know William isn't to blame for the accident.
You need to tell him that.
I probably should apologize for saying that, shouldn't I?
Father, the church custodian called. He said the furnace went out again and he'd like you to take a look at it.
I was afraid of that. William, thank you.
Still up here, I see. Aren't you tired?
Yes, but I'm too keyed up to relax.
I understand that.
I hate it when your father gets called to the church so late.
Isn't there anyone else who can take care of these kinds of emergencies?
I suppose, but your father likes to take care of things himself.
He does like to control everything.
He wasn't always that way. But after Ricky's accident, we all felt so helpless. Your father hated it. I think it scared him so badly that he made up his mind never to be out of control again. Unfortunately, it's made him very demanding at times.
That's for sure. My whole life, I always wondered what was wrong with me, why I couldn't do anything right.
There wasn't anything wrong with you, William. Your father's expectations were just too high.
I know that now, but I really didn't realize that until last summer, when you and Father came for a visit.
What happened last summer?
Well, it was that afternoon when you and Kathy went shopping and you left Father and Andy and I at home. Father and Andy were playing ball. You know how Andy loves to play ball.
He never gets tired of it. He wears me out.
Well, Father was tossing a ball back and forth with Andy, and it was small, and he just didn't have the coordination to catch it. When Kathy and I play ball with Andy, even when he drops it, we say, "Good job, Andy. Good try. Keep up the good work." But Father, he wasn't doing that. Instead, he was saying things like, "Come on, Andy, you can do better than that," or "You're just not trying hard enough." Andy was so confused. He was trying his hardest, but Father just couldn't see that.
You must have been very upset.
I was. I went over to Andy and I patted him on the back and said, "Good job, Andy." And he was happy again. Just a little encouragement was all he really needed.
Well, what did your father say?
That's what surprised me. He looked up at me and he looked at Andy, and you could see he hadn't even realized that Andy needed that kind of encouragement. And then I saw that Father was expecting Andy to do something he wasn't able to. And that's exactly what he had been doing to me my entire life. It was then I realized there's nothing wrong with me.
There's nothing wrong with you at all, William. Nothing.
It would be nice to hear Father say that.
Well, even if he never does, continue to believe it.
It's hard when he acted the way he did.
You know, he doesn't really blame you for Ricky's accident.
He certainly fooled me.
Well, how was your conversation with Kathy?
Not that good. Seems we didn't have much to talk about.
You don't think a fight with your father was worth talking about?
I didn't want to bother her. Plus, it was no big deal.
Oh, no?
Well, not that big of a deal.
You know, God can help you with that pain. His love is deeper than any of our hurts.
And I'm not sure I believe that.
Why?
Well, Ricky was a Christian, and he still died.
Ricky's accident wasn't a punishment. God doesn't promise that Christians won't have problems. Jesus certainly suffered as he died on the cross. Christians still have problems, just like everybody else, but we have God to help us and give us strength through those problems.
So if I ask Christ into my life, will he bring Kathy back?
I don't know, but he'll give you strength even if Kathy never comes back to you.
I could use some strength right now. Alone, I feel pretty weak.
All you have to do is ask him to forgive you.
You mean pray? I'm not sure I could do that. I haven't prayed in years.
Then just start with the Lord's Prayer. You remember that, don't you?
Yeah. I'll think about it.
Mom, is there any ham left? I'm still hungry.
It's in the refrigerator on the bottom shelf.
Which bottom shelf? I can't find it.
I better head downstairs before she destroys my kitchen. Are you hungry?
No, I'm fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I do think I'll stay up here a little bit, though. You better hurry. Andy, it's about time your dad made some changes. How's that Lord's Prayer start? Our Father, dear God, who art in heaven,
here I lay my burdens down, lose my worries in your love, casting
I'm pretty sure that old high chair is up here somewhere.
Well, if it's anything like the crib, I don't see how I could possibly use it.
Oh no, it's in much better shape than the crib. We got it new when Becky was born.
Well, no matter how bad a condition it's in, we may have to use it. Don and I had no idea how expensive baby furniture is. We nearly passed out last night when we saw the price of cribs.
Well, here it is. What do you think?
You're right. That is in pretty good condition. I think we will use it if you really don't mind.
Now, aren't you glad I kept this stuff? Like I said, you never know when it may come in handy.
I hate it when people say I told you so.
Yoo-hoo! Betty?
Oh no. I'm not in the mood to deal with Aunt Hazel today.
Okay, just don't tell her off like you did your father the other night.
In the attic again? Betty, how many times must I tell you?
I know, it's not good for me.
Well, hello, Sharon. Are you keeping yourself busy like I told you?
Why, yes, Aunt Hazel. I cleaned my whole house this morning before 10 a.m.
Well, good for you, my dear.
Are you hungry, Aunt Hazel? Richard will be home from the church soon, and we could all eat lunch together.
Oh, what's he doing at the church on Saturday morning?
Oh, that old furnace gave out again. He got it going, but he wanted to take another look at it. So, how about lunch?
That sounds nice. As long as you're not having anything too spicy. My digestion isn't what it used to be, you know.
Oh, yes, we know. Sharon?
I can't. Don just went to get some gas in the car. We promised we'd stop in at his parents' this afternoon.
And how are the Andersons doing? I haven't seen them in the longest time.
They're fine.
Did you see William downstairs, Aunt Hazel?
Oh, William's here?
Yes, he came for the weekend.
Oh, that's nice. I guess it's not hard for him to get away for a weekend with his job. Bob works most every weekend, you know. I guess that's why Bob gets all the promotions and...
Hey, William has a good job. You shouldn't...
William told us just the other night that he's up for a promotion to assistant manager.
Well, how wonderful. Of course, Bob was assistant manager in his company 2 promotions ago.
Oh, Hazel, I'm tired of hearing about Bob. You think he's perfect, but he's nothing but a pushy, overbearing bore like you.
Betty!
You're always putting William down, but he's just as good, no, better than Bob. I don't know what makes you so mean, but I've had it with your gossip and snide remarks about William, and I'm not going to listen to any more of your...
Betty Franklin! I can't believe you're talking to me like this. I don't have to stand here and be treated this way. I'm leaving. Good day.
And you were worried I might tell her off.
I wanted to stand up for William to her for a long time and never had the nerve.
What on earth gave you the nerve today?
I don't know. Maybe I was inspired by you.
What?
Well, I figure if you had the nerve to stand up for William to your father the other night, maybe I could do the same with Hazel.
Well, Mom, I have a feeling your relationship with Aunt Hazel won't be quite the same anymore.
Oh, I guess a lot of our old family relationships need changing. I guess keeping our mouths shut and ignoring the problem hasn't been the best way to do that, huh?
Probably not.
That means I have to start with an apology to Aunt Hazel.
Mom, William is still on my phone. He's been hogging it all morning.
Well, it won't hurt you to wait a minute.
But Beth is going to the mall today.
To the mall? On a Saturday? This close to Christmas?
I don't care. And if I don't go, or if I don't call her soon, she might leave without me.
Well, we haven't even had lunch yet.
I could just grab something on the way to the mall. No big deal.
No. Your father will be home soon, and we can all eat lunch together.
I doubt he won't eat lunch with me.
Why not?
He hates me.
Don't be silly. Your father doesn't hate you.
Makes you wonder. William, it is about time. I'm gonna go call Beth before my phone dies now too.
Well, good morning and Merry Christmas to you too, Becky. And how are my favorite mother and sister this morning?
My goodness, you certainly are in a good mood.
Well, why shouldn't I be? Christmas is only a week away.
I haven't seen you smile like that in a long time. Who was that on the phone that made you so happy?
Kathy?
Kathy?
Yes, I called her and we decided to meet for lunch on Monday.
That's wonderful, but I thought you always met clients for lunch.
I normally do. As a matter of fact, I was supposed to meet a very important client on Monday, but I canceled that so we could meet.
Well, you certainly have changed. What's going on?
What did you call to tell Kathy anyway?
I didn't say anything this morning. I wanted her to be the first to know.
What?
What?
Last night, after your talk about the power and strength available through Christ, I prayed and I asked Jesus into my life.
Oh, terrific!
That's so wonderful.
So what did Kathy say? She must have been so excited.
She was very excited. She said this is exactly what she's been praying for since she gave her life to Christ. We prayed over the phone, and you know what else she even said? She said she still loves me.
Does this mean the two of you will be getting back together?
I can't think of anything that could stop us now. And just in time for Christmas. This is going to be the best holiday ever.
You know your father will be happy too, William. He really will.
I don't know about that, but I'm not going to let that bother me.
Good for you.
I think you'll be surprised how he reacts. I think he's tired of the bickering too.
I don't know. Just last night, the thought of him made me angry again. But you know what? That bitterness has been replaced with a new hope for the future.
Don's here. Gotta go. I'll see ya. Hey, I love you, William.
Are you taking this with you?
Yeah,
I'll carry it out for you. I haven't seen Don in ages.
thank you.
Those cookies downstairs sure smell good.
Oh, Richard, I didn't hear you come in. How's everything at the church?
Okay. What's for lunch?
I have some leftovers from last night.
Leftovers? You know I hate leftovers.
If you don't want leftovers, you can take me out to eat. I hear that expensive new restaurant downtown is quite good.
On second thought, leftovers will be just fine. Has Rebecca said anything more about the other night?
No. She's determined to take that new job, though.
Even though she knows that's not what we want. The Bible does say, children, obey your parents. It's the same as it was with William.
But those verses also say not to provoke your children. I think we can be very sure that Becky is very provoked right now.
Maybe you're right. I did come on a bit strong. Maybe I was wrong.
I think Becky and William both need to hear you say that.
Admit I made a mistake? To the kids?
They're not children anymore. They're adults.
I guess so, but do you think it's wise to tell them that I was wrong? I mean, I've never done that before.
Look where it's gotten you.
But I am their father.
That doesn't mean you have to be perfect. You have weaknesses. You need to let them see that side of you. They might even think more of you. They might even respect you more.
You think so?
Yes, I do.
But Rebecca's so angry and William, well, we haven't had anything to talk about in years.
You do now. Especially now.
Why now?
William gave his heart to the Lord last night.
What?
Yes, and Kathy did the same a few weeks ago. They're meeting on Monday so they can start to work things out. It would be great if he could start a whole new relationship with you, too. Then we could have a real family Christmas for the first time in 20 years. Wouldn't that be wonderful?
Yes, it would. I don't want things to be the way they are. I'm so tired of it.
Start by turning your whole life over to Christ also.
What do you mean? I'm already a Christian.
But you need to turn your whole life over to Him. Your weaknesses, even your grief.
Grief?
After Ricky died, you never accepted the true comfort that only Jesus can give. Do that now, for yourself and for the kids.
Hey, Mom. Talk to Beth. We're going to the mall.
Okay.
Can I talk to you for a minute, Becky?
But she'll be here
Please.
soon, and
Please.
I guess I have a few minutes.
I'm sorry about the other night. I shouldn't have put down your job.
What?
I didn't realize just how excited you were. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings.
It's okay.
No, it's not okay. Congratulations, sweetheart.
You mean I can take the job and go to a technical school?
Yes.
Are you sure you're feeling okay? You're not sick or something, are you?
No.
And you don't care if I don't go to college?
Well, I didn't say that. But I have to let you make the decision yourself.
Thank you, Daddy. You're the best. Wait until I tell Beth. Oh, and Daddy, I love you.
I love you, Becky.
And I love you. I know how hard that was for you.
That was the easy part. I still have to talk to William.
Did I hear my name?
William, I imagine the two of you are hungry.
You don't have to bother.
Oh no, but it's almost lunchtime. I don't mind at all, and I have some cookies I could finish baking, so I'll call you when they're ready.
That sounds good.
Careful. Have you...
William, I need...
Did you... Go ahead. You go first.
Looks like it might snow tonight.
Maybe.
They say it's supposed to be a cold winter.
Yeah, I heard that too. I see you took down that old oak tree. Ricky and I spent many a summer days hanging on those branches.
Hanging out in those branches isn't the only thing y'all used to do in that tree, is it?
What do you mean?
You don't remember throwing acorns at old Mrs. Blake?
I didn't know you knew about that.
Oh, believe me, about the third time it happened, she marched right over here and told us all about it.
Honestly, I didn't do it. It wasn't my idea, it was Ricky's.
I know, Ricky told us about it too. He sure could be mischievous.
Yes, he could be.
I haven't thought about old Lady Blake in years. She sure was a character. William, I need to apologize.
Apologize for what?
Well, a lot of things, I guess, but I said some things the other night that I didn't mean.
Like what?
Well, about the accident. I said it was your fault, but I didn't mean that. There may have been a time right afterwards that I felt that way, but it didn't last long. I know it wasn't your fault.
I guess we all needed someone to blame.
Yeah, we needed some place to dump our anger. We should have dumped our anger at Jesus' feet.
We should have.
Hey, are you coming home next weekend for Christmas?
I'm not sure. Kathy and I,
Yeah, your mother told me.
hopefully we'll have some things worked out by next week.
Good girl, Kathy. And I'd love to see that grandson of mine.
I'm sure Andy would love to come home for Christmas.
Y'all are always welcome here, no matter what.
Thank you, Father.
William, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Why do you call me Father?
Why? Because you are my father.
No, that's not what I meant. The girls, they call me Dad or Daddy when they want me for something. But you never do. You always call me Father. Why?
I guess calling someone Dad indicates a close personal relationship we've never really had. Maybe it's the same reason you stopped calling me Billy.
Maybe so. Do you suppose it's too late to change?
I'm not really sure. I guess if it's something we both want. Did Mom tell you my good news?
Good news?
I gave my life to Christ last night.
Yes, she did.
There's going to be some changes in me.
You're not the only one who needs to make some changes. William, in a couple months is the church father-son picnic. Do you think you could drive down and go with me?
The father-son picnic.
Yeah, and you could bring Andy too.
Yeah, Andy would like that. And so would I. We'd love to go with you.
The cookies are ready.
Are you hungry?
I could eat some cookies.
All right.
I think I'll take this with me.
Let's go get some Christmas cookies, Billy.
Good idea, Dad.
You called me from the grave by name. You called me out of all my shame. I see the old has passed away. The new